we are beginning to talk about the another topic that we wanted to answer, to ask you guys, that it is exactly about that, the answer of the police or judicial bodies. And your whole story is tells a lot of the Brazilian reality, the Brazilian reality in among peasants and indigenous people. Although these people suffer the oppression of the big landowners, you mentioned the bond that connects the gunmen and the landowners. It is quite specific. Like Ip said, it isn't a company that professional relations, affecting properties, kind of stuff. More than that, deeper, quite personal bond that attaches gunmen to the landowners. Something anachronic almost. So we were talking about how these relations that Philippe tells that attaches the gunmen to the landowners is quite specific. It's not a relation of a company that is hired to protect a farm or something like that. It's deeper and it's more than that. It's a personal bond, a feudal or a semi-feudal, an anachronic relation almost in our society that attaches this gunmen to the landowners, and it is something that expresses like that. And you also mentioned the relations of the police, the case that the military police pretended blind among the attack. And that's quite a common account. Although absurd, it is quite a common account here in Brazil, where the police also acts closely with the gunmen and the landowners against the poor peasants, against the indigenous people, other traditional peoples too. And we would like to ask you something that Ana started to answer, that after the attack, did you try to denounce the case once more to the police, to judicial bodies, to the prosecutor's office, Ministério Público? And if so, how did they respond? Did they assist you on anything? It fell on bureaucratic processes with no answers. How was the situation?
I can explain a bit because I was more in contact with everyone. So after we arrive in Iguatemi, Defensoria Pública da União bring us to the police station of Amambai, it's civil police station. But we were followed by like the DPU and DPE, and we give testimony. We did the examen corpo de delito. I don't know how to say in English. But the strange thing, like when we were there, while we were doing a testimony, many people arrived to help us, leadership of Guarani Kaiowá, everything, followed by another people, and they saw like 2 times the pickup of Fazenda Maringá pass in front of the police station, very slow.
Yeah.
So
Driving in a very slow speed, looking in the direction of the police station. Yeah.
Intimidation, and how they knew that we were there. So after that, like one important person that was there, from Ministério Público do Trabalho, told us she had like 2 force with her, I don't know, like security, but from the Ministério, and she told us like, now we leave, we will follow you until our things were in the hotel, like in Carapó. We went to take our things, the rest of our things, like computer, everything, like with them following us, protecting us. And we went until the place we stay high few days, So our first statement in the police, it's boletim de ocorrência, it's like a hobo. And and it was not a hobo, like they didn't stole us, like how we are passing and they stole us. No. After many process that I can tell you or no, but like if you want, but now it's the investigation is the federal police, like, and during this time too, we did by ourselves a lot of research, investigation, and discover a few things. We passed to them. We passed to Defensoria Pública da União, Defensoria Pública do Estado do Mato Grosso do Sul. We speak with Ministério dos Povos Indígenas, Ministério dos Direitos Humanos. So we try to create like a big, it happened by itself, like a big network. And we have like 2 lawyers from the human rights too, like Thalita da Fonseca and Pedro Lazzarini Neto. They are representing to the Guarani Kaiowá from Pyelito. So we are doing everything like in our hands to don't let this
impunity to happen again and again and again. I feel we are fighting against big forces. So, but it's I mean, it's not over. It's definitely not over. We are in contact with many international media as well. There are investigation journalists on the case. So we are using any way possible to let the story of the Guarani in the how to say, like in the news, like in the headlines.
And also, like, it's important to mention that after someone let us know that in Iguatemi, the same day, it was happening a meeting from a group called Endireita Iguatemi, and they were giving a speech called "How to Protect Your Patrimony from the Actual Risk," and one of the lecture was how to use violence in a legal way to defend your property. So this let us know a lot.
You know, like Brazil, I say it again, it's a wonderful country. Now Brazil has a government that pretend to think about human rights and like and justice, like for all the people. I think Brazil need to act to prove that it's really the case, because that kind of situation, like, it has to be, somebody has to do something about it. Like, so I think there was a lot of hope when this actual government came to power after a few years totally crazy when we were looking from outside, and it's not the only country in the world like that. There's a populism is going higher and higher in many countries, and so I mean, I personally like expect something to happen. I mean, it's not possible to let a situation like this. And again, it's not about us. It's about the Guarani, and probably many other people in Brazil that suffer that kind of violence as well. So, I mean, we really expect to see something happen in this. Sorry, my English is not always perfect too. So yeah.
And mostly like also the police force that was there, like we know they have GPS, like a good investigation, a good operation, like can discover many things, like, and as Renaud say, like it's not about us because we live, but people that are there every day, like living all this violence, the torture, like, and our lawyers say too, like that what they did with us, like it was kidnapping, torture, violence, stole, and they tried of homicide of Renaud. So like it's very with us. They did that in a public street, and what they do, like hide with the Guarani. We know.
Yeah.
We know.
And when we arrived there, like, there was 14 Guarani people who were since I don't know how long, but days, surrounded, rape, torture, menace of death, and us, we were able to go to the police finally. Like, we did a deposition. Okay, they changed the deposition. It's not perfect, but they took photo of the body, like the place that have been hurt. I went to the hospital. But Carol, how long it took before the Guarani were able to speak with officials about what happened to them?
It was a few days, and they need to wait someone to follow them, be with them, to be in safety. Like,
Yeah.
so we know, like, for us, like, it was hard, like, to find a place that we felt safe, like, that was with the Guarani, between them. Like, I imagine them living in this city, like, and it's very hard, like, and it's a lot of violation of every kind of right, like indigenous rights, human rights, land rights, like territorial rights. So this must stop, like, and the impunity is what makes this continue. Like, they were very, like, sure of themselves, like, and
And to do that in front of the police,
yeah,
no problem.
and they are not defending the property, like, they're criminal. As soon as you use violence, you use guns, like, you use knife, use this hate, like, you start to make
I
commit
think there's
crimes.
one thing we haven't mentioned that is important to say. Like, in this region, the land of the Guarani have been demarcated, and actually, like, the Guarani, they live on 10% of this land. 90% of this demarcated land is occupied by the agribusiness, by 3 different farms. So they are aware of that. They are scared for their little comfort in life, and so this is really important to talk about it. Like, the land that have been demarcated, the Guarani cannot enjoy this land. They are stuck in a little place. So they were not in the process of fighting against. No, they were fighting for their right, because nobody is for them.
Exactly. And if we can see where those Guarani Kaiowá are right now, they are living by the roads in the state of Mato Grosso, suffering from accidents that may kill them. And those accidents, we can say we know that aren't accidents, are murder committed by those governments, those landowners, and unfortunately, we are close to end our interviewing with both of you, and we would like to ask a final question. Renaud, you have mentioned about the North American indigenous people, which situation is very similar and close from north to south of
There are
America.
similarities, clearly.
Yes.
Yeah.
The genocidal politics they have suffered, but their resistance, their fight and their faith to fight oppression, to fight those violations we are talking here about. And we would like to ask you, how did you guys, did you see this situation, and have you guys ever have you guys ever seen something similar to the situation that you both of you suffered with the Guarani Kaiowá here in Brazil, in another place or country? And what are your, both of you, Ana and Renaud, your perspectives of the struggle and the fight carried out by the indigenous people, the peasants here in Brazil?
I think it's very hard to make comparison, okay, in general in life, like, because yes, I can tell you about other kind of violence that I faced in different places, Haiti, like Bangladesh. But it's very hard to compare a situation to another. I said it before. What I've seen in the state of Mato Grosso do Sul was pure hate. Okay, we are, and we are not the only one. Like the Guarani are, officials are like talking about a slow genocide, and to me, this is exactly what is going on. The people who attacked us, if you let them decide, if you let them like be in position of power, they will do everything to get rid of the Guarani. But it's not new. Like the history of the 500 last year is a bit like that. Like it's hard to compare also like what happened, mostly what happened in Canada in the last centuries with the indigenous population. But if you have another 45 minutes, I'll be very happy to talk about it with you. Maybe another time. So yeah, that would be my answer. I don't know if I answered.
One thing that's complementary, like, it's if we let these people in the power, and they are, like, the rural, like, politics are big, and today they will decide, like, about the marco temporal. So they are like in the power, and they are in the power. They are, so it's very complicated. But I think this resistance, this fight, like, of the Guarani people, all the Guarani people, it's like something impressive, because we speak a lot here about violation of rights, about fight, but we speak a lot about beauty, the beauty of their spirituality, the beauty of their way to see life, the beauty of this life in as a collective life. They have something that humanity needs to rescue, like, because they are incredible, like, and they are incredible. I'm sorry to say that, incredibly strong. They should not be, but they are. And like what we live, like, it was not like even 1% what they faced their life, like, and to see that they stay there, like they face that, they are always facing that, like, it's
And they tell
the
us
proof of
we
resistance.
keep the head up.
Up. We will
They
not
tell us, but we see that they are not like this. Like they keep the face up.
So what we can do is to continue and keep the faith up too, and try to do something as our work, like that is to tell stories, to bring these stories more far, like, but also now legally try to don't let the impunity happen. About the investigations, now it's in the hand of federal police, so we will know better more soon, I hope.
Yeah.
Salute again. Something also beautiful to see. We again salute your decision, your work, your determination, and keep going no matter what. After this brutal attack, this coward attack you suffered, this decision is also very important. I would like to thank you in advance for the interview. It reveals a lot about the reality of the reality of indigenous people. You both mentioned, and Philippe said also, how can this happen in a country that says that it is a democracy, that respects international law, and in times that we see, I mean, the last 2 months, international law in question, again and again and again. We see here too, where is international law, democracy? All of these words seem a little bit empty in front of situations like that. And Ana Carolina mentioned something that is the key of the question. I think that is, who's in power? Democracy, right? They will leave, but who's in power? Is the landowners, the big capitalists, as Bill said also. So that's the question in the end of the day, right? Who's in power? Who express and coordinates and controls this power? In the end of the day, we'll say. And thank you about that. This interview is really reveals a lot, and yes, we can expect a lot of better times in next years. But the Guarani Kaiowá, the people, can give this better times for us, their struggle, and also we with them struggling, fighting for our rights. Philippe mentioned we see a government now that tends to say something and acts in a certain way, but when we look to the historic of the Guarani Kaiowá, we think, but 2007, it was the same man, the same president, the same government, and they were suffering these attacks. And, and we also see these contradictions of the historic of the indigenous fights. And when they express their letter saying, we don't believe in Brazilian judiciary, it was also a government similar. And we raise these questions too, and our confidence in the end of the day always goes to the Guarani Kaiowá, the people. I think we look at them as the real transformation and the real way to transform reality. Is that right?
Well, I would like to thank you, both of you, for giving us this interview. We are very honored to hear the statement of both of you. It reveals, as Enrico said, the reality that Guarani Kaiowá and the masses, the poor masses in our country suffer from. And I would like to finish and just thank you, both of you. And we know that the Guarani Kaiowá, as the others indigenous people in our country, are steadfast and fierce people that will fight until the end for the reoccupation and the conquest of their lands. And that is a right more than the value, more than important to be guaranteed. So we would like to thank you a lot for your words towards the Guarani Kaiowá and the denounce that both of you brings to us.
Thank you for the space to talk, and thank you because we know you're a very partner on this fight of Guarani Kaiowá too. And it's very important to have supporters all around. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Same. Bye bye. Ciao, ciao. Obrigado.
Bye bye. Obrigada.
Thank you.